I
I was
almost
thinking
got
stuck on
hit by a golf ball that was hit by Tom Kite. He actually came over and, like, talked to us and apologized.
Oh, that's
holy
cool.
crap.
I We had a golf ball that Tom Kite gave us, yes.
You've got pictures. We need to see
I
some
know,
of these
right? Let's get into
photos.
the yeah, let's get into these
I'm a
photos.
photographer.
Yeah, you
You
are.
are. Look at that. All right.
Okay,
What do
where are
we
we?
got?
Oh, we're at Ripley's.
Mm,
Okay, so true story. This was the last day we were there.
okay.
I really wanted to go to the Fountain of Youth.
Mhm.
Who doesn't? Who doesn't want to be Peter Pan? Um, but I think I mentioned earlier that it was hot,
Mm,
and I
Of course.
was really tired of being outside. It was very, very hot,
mhm.
and I just I just couldn't do it anymore.
Mhm.
I
Couldn't
couldn't do it
hardly
anymore,
longer.
and I'm a Floridian, people. I couldn't do it anymore.
That's important to note.
Like, not
I
born, but
said,
definitely raised.
"Jason, I know I wanted to go to the Fountain of Youth, but we can do that next time because there's a few things we've missed already that we weren't able to do.
Mhm.
So we're just gonna put that on the list." The Fountain of Youth looks really cool. Like, honest to God, it's the Fountain of Youth from Ponce de Leon. It's a
Mhm.
whole historical thing. You can go see how they made food, but it's all outside.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we ended up, I said, well, let's go to Ripley's. My stepmom Jane had recommended going to Ripley's, and I was like, all right, well, let's go to Ripley's. I used
This
to
is like
watch that
Ripley's Believe
show.
It or Not, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
Ripley's Believe It or Not. Sorry.
No, 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 you're
Um, this is the oldest Ripley's Believe It or Not museum.
Believe it or not.
It was formed in 1950, and it's in a like housed in a former mansion that was built in 1887.
Oh, wow.
So the building itself is really cool.
Nice. That photo
And
is really cool.
again, it's in walking distance.
Mhm.
Okay.
So it's the furthest north we went,
Mm.
which really wasn't that far north, obviously, because we walked.
Mm.
But it was really, really cool. They
Mm.
have so much stuff. I would recommend going. I will say that it's not like your regular museum where you could just kind of wander wherever you want to go, like, oh, what's that painting? Oh, what's this? It's more like a cattle call line at Disney.
Oh.
So you get in line and there are barriers, so you follow. You can only go one way.
Oh.
So it was really busy. So I couldn't walk freely. Like, you would get to rooms where you could kind of walk around a little freely, but then
Mhm.
you went back into the flow.
Mhm.
And I understand why they did it, to keep people going where they needed to go.
Yeah.
But when it was super busy, it was a little frustrating because you'd end up kind of standing there for a
Mhm.
while.
Mhm.
Pull that picture back up. So that is the International Space Station made up entirely of matchsticks.
That is insane.
Insane.
Yeah.
So they have all kinds of crazy stuff there. They have this, which was crazy. They have
Mhm.
like a piece of Chewbacca's fur, which I thought was really cool.
What? That is hilarious. Oh,
I
Yeah, they
always
have
wanna be able
so
to do a
much crazy
Chewbacca
stuff.
impression, I can't.
mm-mm. I can
They
do a
have
good I can go do a good Donald Duck-ish.
they have like a real shrunken head and like some they have a hippo something, which was really cool for me. Oh,
Mhm.
for the audience, hippos are my favorite animals, so
Fuse a hippo
I
nut.
love them. Ripley's is fun. There's so much cool stuff. They have this crazy like tunnel you walk through. So it's a little plank that you walk across and the tunnel spins. So you walk across it and you feel like you're tripping.
Yeah.
Nice.
They have a door you can go around if that's not your thing. Um
I wonder
it's
if they have that
really
in, like, all of them because they had that the one in Branson too.
maybe they do.
That'd be
It was
funny
kind
to
of towards the end, like you're leaving.
Huh.
They had a really cool thing where you stand and like you can make a pose. So like I was like, yeah. And
Love it.
they like flash light on you. So Jason and I both posed and then it like transcribed into the wall behind you. It was
Oh,
Ooh,
really
neat.
neat.
wow. That's amazing.
Yeah, it was really fun. The other thing that's cool about this Ripley's is outside the museum, they have a giant statue of David, like giant replica of the statue of David.
Oh. Oh, thus
Mhm.
like Da Vinci's David. Wait, is that
Yes,
yeah.
yes, yes. And they apparently had to enclose it with bushes because people were upset about the nudity.
No.
And they
Oh,
also
somebody was thinking
have
of children.
Who came from the nudity,
No.
by the way.
Stork.
Mhm.
I was
Continue.
born with clothes on. Um They have like a giant log, like a redwood log that's been
Oh,
hollowed out and changed into like a house. So you can walk through it and there's
oh
like
my
little
god.
rooms. It's really cool.
Okay, that's
Nice.
phenomenal. Okay. Wow. Yeah.
The Ripley's is fun. I
Right.
mean, it's a little on the expensive side. I want to say it was like 30, $40,
Ooh.
Ooh.
somewhere around there. But it's fun. They have all kinds of weird, crazy stuff there. So
I mean, it's fun
If you like weird
and it's
shit.
air conditioned. It
Yeah,
hit
okay.
everything.
air
Pretty cool.
conditioned. So if you're tired of the heat,
Mhm.
go to Ripley's.
Good to know. Good
Wild.
to know.
Okay. All right.
All right.
Oh my
So
god.
I don't know what this is. I have
I've
not I've
never heard
seen
of
this.
Lightner Museum either.
No, I've heard of it, but I've seen the building, I've heard of it. I still don't know what it is.
The Lightner Museum is so cool. So they have it's obviously a historical building.
Mm.
Um it used to be a hotel. Now it's a museum, obviously. They have tons and tons of old furniture. And I know this is weird, but I'm kind of a furniture freak. I love furniture. Um They have like old chairs,
Mm.
old bureaus, old tables. It's beautiful. And then this picture you're looking at right here used to be an indoor pool. There is now a cafe. All those people at the bottom of the picture, they're eating at a cafe.
Oh my god.
Yes. And then they still have like the old saunas and stuff. So you can go see, like, so you can, it's really cool. So you get history with your museum experience.
Okay.
They have, like, a beautiful old piano, they have artwork,
Was this
all
an
kinds
old
of stuff.
wellness center at some point too?
Kind of, yes.
Okay, because 'cause you're
There's
saying
this
all these
crazy
things that
shower, I woulda sent
are
you a picture, I made Jason stand in it and do, like, a with his butt out pose. Um
You should have sent us that picture for sure.
damn. Send it anyway, we'll put it in post.
It's really cool. The whole building is amazing.
Mhm.
When we were there, they had, because they have rotating exhibits.
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
So when we were there, they had pulled out all of their glass. So they had all kinds of carnival glass and all that stuff.
Oh, wow.
Amazing. Like it was just a room full of beautiful glass.
Mm.
Bowls, cups, everything, and like from different eras. Just
Mm.
beautiful. They had an amazing display of stained glass.
Nice.
Um,
Okay.
I love stained glass because I know how to do stained glass. I learned how to do it. I've made pieces of stained glass,
Amazing.
and it was beautiful what they had there.
Mm.
The other, and strangely, the thing I was most excited about when I saw they had it was they had a bicycle exhibit.
What?
Okay.
Yes. So I was really excited about it when we got there and the nice woman that was taking our money so we could go see everything. Um she she said, this is what we have going on right now, and I was like, I'm really excited about the bicycles. And she said, I thought it was going to be weird, but it's really cool. And it was.
Okay.
Okay, they had bicycles through history. Apparently, someone that lives in St. Augustine collects bicycles. So he has this crazy collection and he shared it with the museum. And he had those crazy bicycles with like the one big wheel in the front and the tiny
Penny
wheel in the
farthing?
back.
Yeah.
And they had one that was ridden across the United States as a kind of advertisement for bicycles. So someone rode this crazy bike across the United States and they had it there. But they had like tons of bicycles. It was really cool. Like I found it incredibly interesting. I know it sounds weird and lame, but if you could see it, it was really, really cool. And they had like a bicycle that had like where the fenders over the tires, they were like tigers. They had all kinds of really cool stuff there.
That
And
does
it
sound
was
neat.
Yeah, that
very, very
it actually
interesting.
sounds really fascinating. Like
Yeah.
I would
Yes.
be you're saying it and I'm like, I don't think I want to. And then you're describing it and I'm like, no, I'd go see that.
It was really cool.
Yeah.
I would highly recommend the Lightner Museum.
Glass and
Okay.
bicycles. Who knew? And
Glass
old
and
furniture.
bicycles. Yeah.
Right. The old furniture is gorgeous, though. I mean, you got to think like back when
Right.
people took the time to create beautiful pieces for their
Mhm.
home.
Mhm.
And this is all, most of it is from one person's, like, I'm rich and this is my collection kind of thing.
As well to happen.
So incredible. Like, I cannot stress enough how beautiful a lot of their pieces were. They had
Mhm.
a beautiful, beautiful piano. I couldn't get enough of it. It was just exquisite. The other thing they had was towards the end, they had old music devices. So this is the first time I've ever seen a Nickelodeon in person.
Wait, that's a thing?
Yeah.
It's a thing.
Wait, what? What's a
Yes.
Nickelodeon?
It's a music machine, like a jukebox,
What?
but
I didn't know
old
what it
timey.
was, but I've heard. I knew Nickelodeon was an actual thing.
I
No.
mean, it's not like you put a quarter in, but it's a music machine. The Lightner Museum just has a lot to offer, not only with the things they have on display, but the building itself is amazing. You showed that picture of the pool.
Mm.
There's a
Mhm.
cafe, you can eat there. We did not eat there,
Mhm.
but it's really an amazing property. They have, when you walk in, there's like a courtyard.
Ooh.
They have a big koi pond with a little
Ooh.
Oh, okay.
bridge going over it. There's
Aw.
like little local businesses all around
Gorgeous.
it.
I love a good
Um,
yard.
it's yes, it was if you go to St. Augustine, you must go to the Lightner Museum.
On my
Sounds
list
great.
now.
Done. Okay. What else we got? Oh, yeah.
Okay, well, across from
Mm.
the Lightner Museum,
Speaking of a courtyard, holy
Yeah,
mother.
right.
this is Flagler College, and I think we're about to harken back to Jim's original introduction of
Thank you for
moi.
circling back. Yes, I was going to say that. So, why? Why the Flagler College? Why? Wait.
So
what
when I
makes
was in
them?
high school, you do that looking at colleges thing. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. It depends on who you are. And it's cool if you don't, but I did. I didn't do a lot of it though. I'm not gonna lie. This is the only college visit I did,
Mm.
and I didn't end up going there. I
That's
ended up going, as Jim said, to USF, University of South Florida in Tampa.
That's
Go
so
Bulls.
South.
But
That's an H.
I went to Flagler College with my dad. I got so many letters for colleges that were interested in me because I'm a smarty pants.
Mhm. Can confirm.
So we went to Flagler, and it's a beautiful, beautiful campus. Show that picture
Mhm.
again. Can you show it?
I can show it. Yeah.
Okay. This is literally walking into the front of Flagler College. So this is the Hotel Ponce de Leon that Flagler built when he wanted to bring people to St. Augustine.
Wow.
If you can't really tell from here, but that fountain in the middle,
Mhm.
All those figures around the bottom are frogs.
That's
Oh
neat.
my god, that's
It's
great.
adorable. Um,
If they
you
had been
walk into
hippos, y'all
this
would not know each other.
no, that's the God's honest truth.
Facts.
Um, you walk into that building, it is gorgeous. This
Mhm.
building is historic. It is
How gorgeous?
beautiful. That
Wow.
gorgeous. That is right when you walk in.
Why did you not go here? I mean, yay, but why did you not go here?
Why did I not go there? Do you want
Yeah.
to know for real?
Yeah, for real, for real.
When I visited, the dorms were not air conditioned.
Shut up.
That's how air conditioning contributed to us meeting.
But the other contributing factor was I had a state scholarship and Flagler is a private school.
Oh, fair. Okay.
But
Yeah.
air conditioning, I think, was even higher than that. But Flagler is actually a really good school.
Mm.
I really, honest to God, would have considered going there. But those two factors
Mhm. Those are
Yeah.
big
were a
factors.
big one, especially, you know, being debt free when I got out of college.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's
College.
it's a good school. It's a very, very good school. It's a private school,
Nice.
but it's nice. That building, the whole grounds is amazing. When we were walking around, when we were visiting, we kept passing buildings that were college buildings.
Jeez.
Um,
nice.
And obviously, with all the tourism, there's probably good jobs for students, like
Mhm.
a lot of
Mhm.
businesses that work around schedules. So it would be
Yeah.
a really good school to go to. If
Mhm.
you think about it, there's plenty of job opportunities.
Yeah.
So I can't knock it. It just wasn't for me because there was
Yeah.
no air conditioning.
Yeah.
Um,
That's
Yeah, totally
understandable.
fair.
and thankfully it led me to gym.
Yay.
And me.
Eventually, yes.
Eventually, yeah.
Eventually. I did not go to
And
yours.
only because I told him to marry you.
You did.
Um,
That was exactly
that
the
was
reason.
adorable.
100%.
Okay, so one last thing with Flagler,
Yes.
Mhm.
they do tours.
Ooh.
Okay.
Whether or not you're
Yeah,
student
they do
material.
tours. So you can do a tour of Flagler. I would recommend doing it because the building is amazing and you can see lots of great stuff. We did not do it this time. A, because we didn't plan on it. So we didn't make any kind of tour time to when we went to it. And B, because, well, I've seen it before.
Fair.
Anyway,
Makes sense.
we
Very
can move on now.
Oh,
Okay.
The fort,
the fort.
which is
big
weird because
landmark.
it's called the Castillo, which is a castle.
Okay, so the fort has had like 5 different names, and don't ask me to rattle them off because I don't know. I'm just gonna call it what they call it now.
Mm.
The Castilla de San Marcos,
Well done.
built in 1695.
That late. I'm actually a little surprised it's that
I'm
late.
not. I'm not.
It's the oldest masonry fort in the United States.
And it's an interesting kind of masonry. Like I love the masonry history of this building. There you go.
Come on, Jim.
There
All
we
right.
I'm on it. I'm on it.
So yeah, do you know this? Do you want to talk about it? You're go for it.
I can tell you a little bit. So
We
it's
probably know the
kind
same
of like in a star shape.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And part of the reason for that is the crossfire.
Mm.
So if they're in this, so if the star is like this,
Mhm.
the people shooting are shooting this way. So they can get people from both angles.
Okay. Interesting. That's interesting. Yeah, because you can see the angle of the fort in the photo as well, that little like corner piece
Piece
that
jutting
juts out
out,
past
yeah.
the
I
cannons.
unfortunately don't have a drone to give you like a bird's eye
we'll
view
We
of
need a
the
license for that.
fort,
But we'll
but it's incredible. This
Yeah.
fort is amazing. It's a national park. So if you have a national park pass, you can get right in, or
Mhm.
you can get a national park pass while you're there, which is a great thing to have if you have time to travel and go see national parks. There's so many
Yay.
great national parks
Oh
in
my
this
God, yes.
country.
We are
Thank
envious.
you, Roosevelt. I
Mhm.
Yeah.
cannot stress enough
Eddie.
how
Might have been the
important
best.
our
Not
national
FDR.
parks are. How great it is to discover a new one. Like,
Yes.
I didn't know this fort was a national park until I was there,
Oh, wild.
and it is a great place. If you're going to St. Augustine, if you're gonna stay in the historic downtown, you
Mhm.
have to go to this fort.
You're doing yourself a disservice if you do
I
not
mean,
go
you
to the
can't,
fort.
but you also can't miss it. It takes up like the whole seafront.
The
It's
whole thing.
freaking huge. Like if for anyone who's familiar with the Eastern State Penitentiary, for example, it's on par with that building in terms of like size and how imposing it is for its location as well. But the what I was going to say was fascinating about specifically the stonework, the stone masonry of how it was built. Something that I learned, and I again, rock hound, totally love this stuff. But when I moved to Tampa, Jim took me to Bach Tower Gardens,
Oh,
which
yes, Bach
for any
Tower, beautiful,
for
So
anyone who's
nice.
familiar,
beautiful.
is a giant Carillon Tower. I always get that wrong. Carillon Tower, which means it's a tower that's filled with bells and they play music and
Mm,
it's absolutely stunning and it's in the middle of this botanical garden and it's just everything. But what Jim said, the word coquina is what it is built out of. And
Mhm.
coquina is something that is
mhm,
unique to only a handful of places in the world, and
and
Florida
this is
happens
one
to
of
be
them.
one of them,
Yeah.
exactly. And what it is it's a pink stone that is created when sand and seashells and everything are pressed together over
Yes,
thousands and
it's
thousands,
amazing.
millions of years, right? And just
Mhm.
and all that pressure creates this beautiful pinkish stone. So when you look at Bach Tower Gardens, it's very pink. When you look at the Castillo de San Marcos, unfortunately, it's different. Well, or
It
fortunately, I
is.
shouldn't say unfortunately, it's not pink though.
No.
It's gray. It's like this blackish gray, and that's
It's kind
because
of like what you would expect from a cinder block.
correct, exactly. And that's literally due to the pollution
Mhm.
in the air that has
Sadly, yes.
permeated, because the thing about coquina is it is a porous stone. So it's that pollution has managed to permeate the stone and change the color. And so they do have sections of it where they clean it to show you what color it was when it was
Yes.
built, but they don't go through and clean it. They leave it as it is so you can see like this is just what it's done. If it gets bad enough, they restore those areas. But yeah, it's fascinating. Like,
The other thing that's fascinating as far as the stone goes is they have areas in the fort
mm,
that they have preserved, and they have like plexiglass or something covering it so you can still see it. But you
wow.
can see where like prisoners of the fort have engraved stuff in the walls, and you can see
Oh,
it.
wow.
Um, or and sometimes, sadly, Indian or Native Americans
Mm,
that like Floridian Native Americans that at some point would actually occupy the fort as true
mm,
workers in the fort.
Mhm.
mhm,
Other times might have been prisoners in the fort,
Yeah.
mhm,
sadly.
mhm.
But so you can see some of that etched into the walls. It's
Wow.
really amazing. There's just so much history literally in the walls of this fort.
Okay, so back to we were talking about the Castillo de San Marcos
Castillo de San Marcos.
barracks.
Yes, so these were the barracks that the soldiers stayed in
Mm,
during the Civil War.
okay.
It's nuts. Like I said before, the graffiti on the walls, like even the soldiers were putting stuff on the walls. I
That's
can't stress to you enough how important it is that you go to this fort.
mm,
Mhm.
There's so much history there, and
mm,
they give credence to all of it. So there's also times when they were holding the Native Americans as
mm,
prisoners,
Mhm.
mm.
which is bizarre to me, considering the Native Americans were there before them. Um,
Yeah.
so they tell you a lot about that history. They tell
Mhm.
you, I mean, there's like rooms upon rooms. There's this little room, it's the armory room
Mm,
where they kept like their gunpowder and their cannonballs and all kinds of crazy stuff.
Mm.
And you have to crawl into it, and they let you do it, but it's like one by one. You have to crawl through a tiny little hole in the wall to get
Wow.
into it, and it's crazy.
Yeesh.
And you can go up to the top. You can see the whole city. It's
Mhm.
beautiful. And you can imagine what it would be like to be at war there, and you're on top of this fort, and you can see all the cannons. They have them. They have flags flying. I
It's
love seeing
incredible.
that kind of stuff. I
Yeah.
love history. I
Yeah.
love seeing those things. So I highly recommend going to this fort.
Mhm.
It's a national park, like I said.
Mhm.
I
Which, for the record, is important because that means that from an accessible perspective, they will have made it as accessible as possible. We've talked a lot about the walkability
mhm,
of the
mhm.
city, but if you're compromised in like a wheelchair or wheeling around one of those scooters because your leg's busted or something, like, yeah, there's places where that's going to be harder to deal with. But the Castillo is one of those where it's like they have to comply, right, with ADA. Of course, there's certain areas where that's
To an
not
extent.
possible, exactly, because it's an historical building. But the National Park Service, I will say, from my experience, being an able-bodied person for the most part when I've gone there, looks to be very good for
They do their best. Yeah.
Yes.
that's
So
it.
there was someone in front of me in line when I was going,
Mhm.
and they were in a wheelchair, and they got in and everything, and they could see everything from the
Mhm.
ground floor. But I will say, if you want to get up to the top and see the cannons and see the towers and all of that, there's no
Mhm.
elevator, it's
Yeah.
steps.
Mhm. Yeah.
So if you're in any way unable to climb those steps,
I
you
thought they had a when I was there, I thought they had a ramp somewhere though.
there
I
was
could
no
be
ramp.
no?
I did
Okay.
not see a ramp anywhere.
Okay. I must be misremembering. I apologize. I thought I had seen something around that, but we've
Uh-uh.
been to that place, like, once, and it was, like, a decade ago for me, so I
Yeah.
it's but it's amazing. I still remember
There
it.
might be a secret ramp or elevator that I don't know about, but I did not see one in my,
I'm putting this on my list of things to look
wanderings.
up. Now I wanna know.
It's like the
Okay.
basement of the Alamo.
Oh my goodness. Okay,
But I
so
still can't, and the other great thing is from the fort, you can see the Bridge of Lions.
ooh, very cool.
The Bridge of Lions is what connects to it's still the A1A. So you
Mhm.
go over that bridge, that's where Osteen's is, where I ate,
Right.
and where the lighthouse is, and the St. Augustine Amphitheater.
Mhm.
And it's a drawbridge. It's really cool.
Very neat.
So it's called the Bridge of Lions because they have these big lion sculptures like at
Mhm.
the entrances to the bridge.
Mm.
And when I was waiting in line to get into the fort, I saw the drawbridge go up, and
Oh,
Oh,
that's
cool.
always fun.
There's
yeah.
always sailboats out there. That's the other
It's
neat thing is
beautiful.
I mean, you can just stand on the sidewalk and look at the water.
Yes,
Just
it's
watch all the
so pretty
sailboats
there.
go by.
It's so pretty.
Lots of golfing too, I've noticed. There seems to be a pretty big golfing community out there as well. So any of you
Yes,
golfers out
yes.
there who are interested in you
Sawgrass is not far, and they do
Okay.
PGA tours there.
Oh, that's
Oh,
right.
alright.
Yeah, there
When
you
I
go.
was growing up, when I was little and I lived in Jacksonville, I went to Sawgrass to see, like,
Nice.
PGA tours.
Hmm, okay. I did not know that. That's amazing.
I
I always think
almost
it's so
got hit by a
fascinating.
golf ball that was hit by Tom Kite. He actually came over and, like, talked to us and apologized.
Oh, that's
Holy
cool.
crap.
I we had a golf ball that Tom Kite gave us, yes.
Holy
That's
m That's
amazing.
so cool.
I want a
Okay.
golf ball from Tom Kite.
I wanna talk about the things I didn't do that I wanted to do.
Mm,
So I spent some of my childhood living in Jacksonville,
Mhm.
and one of my favorite things to do when we could do it was go to the alligator farm, which is in St. Augustine. It's not far from Osteen's. It's kind of between Osteen's and the Lighthouse.
Mhm.
Um, the alligator farm is awesome. They have
I'm
so many alligators. They have you can go see them. They have people that come in, like that they stand in the alligator pit. They talk to you about the alligators, and recently they had a very rare alligator born. It's a white alligator. It's
Whoa.
not an albino, it's a white alligator.
Holy cool. Okay.
So cool.
I'm not gonna lie, you said alligator farm, and I legit was envisioning like a bunch of alligators, like noses coming out of the ground, like
No,
irrigated. Like, yeah, I had
it's not like carrots.
Yeah, I had a whole mental process that I went through on that one. It's fun for me.
The alligator farm is super cool.
Maybe
Remembering from my childhood, but I haven't seen it as an adult, and I'm sad that I didn't get to go, but I just didn't have time. I will get there, especially now that they have that white alligator. So cool. The other thing I didn't see that I'm upset because I went online and looked at their hours and everything, but it was a holiday weekend, and apparently their hours were different for a holiday weekend. Is the Cathedral Basilica.
Okay.
Basilica. It's one of the oldest cathedrals in the country, and it has beautiful stained glass. It's a beautiful building. I really wanted to see it.
Wow.
I'll see it the next time I go.
With us.
Right.
Ooh, hopefully.
Okay.
But yes, so that's a place you can go. They're open. I do want to mention, I haven't mentioned, they have trolley tours.
Oh, neat. Okay.
So like the hop on, hop off trolleys.
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't do that because I was in walking distance of everything that the trolley, but that was one of the stops. And I'm bummed that I didn't get to see the cathedral. I really wanted to, and I planned on seeing it on that last day when we went to Ripley's. I wanted to go to the cathedral, and we actually walked out there, and they were closed. So we turned around and made different plans. So if it's a holiday, I would definitely kind of look more into their hours.
Okay. All right. Yeah, holiday hours generally are a good thing to take into consideration anytime you're going.
Yes, I had no idea they would have special hours for 4th of July. I didn't know that would happen.
Right.
I'm really sad I didn't get to see it. The other thing I didn't get to see, they have so many artists there. I talked about the governor's house and the maps. The exhibit that we saw was all St. Augustine artists and paintings of St. Augustine.
Oh, very cool.
I think they rotate exhibits, so I can't promise it'll be there when you go. But what I learned is there are tons of houses that you can go see in St. Augustine where artists lived.
Neat. Okay.
Like historical houses. So there's tons of historical houses out there. I'd have to do more research to figure out like what they are and where they are. But I didn't get to see those.
Okay.
But being that I'm a foodie, I have to give some shout outs to the restaurants I did go to. So I've already told you about Mimi's Crepes. Hit it up. I've told you about Prohibition Kitchen. If you're a drinker, cocktails. Really close to where we were, and like on the opposite side of the block from St. George was Moho Old City Barbecue. It was delicious.
Okay.
Like I'm telling you, good barbecue.
All
delicious. Right. And it's pretty big, so it's probably not hard to get a table. I mean, we walked right in, but we went like right when they opened, so that makes it easier.
Fair.
Right off the like end of St. George Street, there's a line if you go west of like there's a brewery. There's just restaurants and different stuff. We went to Peace, Love, and Donuts.
Ooh, I've heard that's good.
Shout out. They have they're like mini donuts. Beautiful case of delicious donuts, and I got some iced coffee, yummy. Peace, Love, and Donuts, good place. The one place we absolutely had to go
Mm.
and made a reservation for is the Columbia.
Ooh,
Mm.
okay.
So for people that don't know about the Columbia, it is a family-owned Cuban restaurant. Their original restaurant is in Ybor City, which is Tampa.
Mhm.
Yep.
I grew up with the Columbia, delicious, highly recommend. They have flamenco shows in the Ybor location. Really cool. I mean, when Jason and I got married, immediately after being married, we took the people that were there, which was 4 other people, and we went to the Columbia for the flamenco show and ate delicious food.
Oh,
So we
man.
went to the Columbia in St. Augustine. It's a beautiful location.
Okay.
Amazing. The whole building is incredible. The food is to die for. The
Mm.
service is great. Recommend the Columbia. And it's a
Okay.
family-owned restaurant. They have restaurants through Florida, so I guess you could call it a chain, but it's a family-owned restaurant.
Mhm.
It's a local chain though,
Yeah.
which
It's a
local
local
chains are
chain.
great. They're still local.
Yeah, exactly.
And we also one night were like, what are we gonna do for dinner? So I hopped on Yelp and I do my research and I
Mhm.
said, oh yeah, I wanted to go to the Floridian. I remember I had been looking at restaurants. I wanted to go to this place. So I called and made a reservation. So those are the 2 places, the Columbia and the Floridian. I recommend a
Nice.
reservation if you're going to
Gotcha.
go there,
Okay.
because otherwise it's hard to get in. The Floridian is southern, upscale southern.
Okay.
All right.
They have
Sounds
lots of vegetarian options
Oh,
also.
nice.
That's awesome.
Very cool.
Okay. I
And
want
it was really good. The service was great. The atmosphere was fantastic. I really liked everything about it. I would recommend the Floridian.
All right.
So, to summarize, food wise, the Floridian Prohibition Kitchen, cocktails and food.
Yes.
Mimi's Crepes, Columbia, Moho, Old City Barbecue, Peace, Love, and Donuts, and Osteen's must go.
Real.
Awesome.
Oh my God. Thank
Very
you
cool.
for that.
Yes.
I'm actually trying to find because to your point, there's just food for days in St. Augustine. And
Yeah,
We
we
Cat
also
should-
wanted to go to
27.
Harry's.
Oh yeah, that one's good.
Harry's, they used to have a location in Tampa, and my friend Beth worked there.
Okay.
So I would go there. It's delicious, and the Harry's, I mean, the one in Tampa is no longer open, but the one in St. Augustine is a great location. They have beautiful like courtyard and all of that, and we tried to go there, but it
Mm.
was like a 2-hour wait, and we were
Mm.
hungry, so we moved
Yeah.
along. They don't take reservations. That's the thing you have to, if you want to eat, you need to really do some research and see who takes reservations, make
Yeah.
reservations far in advance.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise you need to be prepared to wait and get there early so that
Mhm.
you can eat when you want to eat. So
Right.
if you
And
want to
that
eat at 7, get there at 5.
Yikes.
I would say that's applicable like throughout the year in St. Augustine as well, like
Mhm.
outside of holiday weekends, because when Jim and I were there last, I was just trying to look up the restaurant that we had gone to. We went to Catch 27, which was
I
Phenomenal.
saw that place.
incroyable. Like it was so good. And very, very like small. I mean, that's the other thing is like St. Augustine is a very small area.
Mhm.
Especially if you're in a historical building.
Exactly
Yeah.
what I was
You
gonna
are
say. Yeah.
confined
Mhm.
to the space that you have.
So you may
So
only have like 6 tables
Yeah.
right.
in a like former house
Yes.
For
or
sure.
servants' quarters or something. Yeah, exactly. Like they're not big restaurants like you might be used to seeing elsewhere in the state for sure. But yeah,
Truly.
yeah,
Yeah, so
amazing.
I would definitely recommend researching your dining options before you
Smart.
go. And
Very
if you're going on a special occasion, making a reservation if they accept them, or
Mhm.
planning
Mhm.
on showing up early so that you can get in when you want. If you
Oh,
have
yeah.
a
Very
big
respectful.
party, If you have a large amount of people, restaurants will usually take your reservation, even if they don't take reservations usually.
Oh, good to
Oh,
know.
interesting.
Okay. What do you consider a large party? Do you think like 6 or more?
6 or 8.
I
It
gotcha.
depends on the restaurant, but yes.
Okay.
But
Yeah. So
often if
always
you
the
have a
bad.
large party, if you call them,
Yeah.
Makes sense.
I'm one of those people. My favorite. I'm such a monkey. My favorite thing to do. I shouldn't admit this out loud, but like
You're
do
gonna
it.
ban from places.
Say it.
I am. I'm totally that person who like I'll finish my whole meal and the server will come over and be like, "How was everything?" And I'll be licking the plate, going, "It was terrible," like just to be a smartass. But like
We do that too.
I have on more than one occasion walked into a restaurant and had the person at the host stand like um just it's clearly busy or what, and I'll walk in and just be like, "Yeah, we have a party of 20." Just to see their faces, and I'll be like, "We're actually 4," and they'll be like, "Oh, thank God."
Don't you feel
Yeah.
better now?
See? We're good.
Have you never worked in the restaurant industry?
I have worked in every restaurant industry. Like,
Yeah,
I
so
have been
you
I
know
have
what
been
you're
a
doing to
hostess.
those people. That's mean.
That actually makes it worse, I think. You like
Yeah,
the fact
yeah.
that I know better.
That just means you're a bad person.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. 100% monkey right here. We're good. It's fine.
Oh, so I take it back. The mosquitoes should be going after Jim.
I don't know what's going on. I'm clearly not as sweet as they think I am.
I'm just full of shit.
And on that note, Sarah, this has been delightful.
Yes, we have had a wonderful
Oh,
time.
My
It's
God. thank you.
delightful every time I talk to you.
Love
Yes,
you.
indeed.
Oh.
This has been fantastic, though, and yeah, I guess this is big hearts, big hearts.
That's very cute. Can I do the?
Can you do the thing?
I can't. It's kind of cute.
What's that?
The attempt at a heart that I
You
saw
don't-
on
do-
Tears in the Kingdom. Don't worry about it. Anyway, thank you so very much, Sarah Nelson, for
Thank you for having me.
being our St.
Oh, yeah.
Augustine expert. And you really are our resident Florida
Yeah,
expert.
for sure.
So we will be coming back to you for more tips and tricks in other parts of the state.
Absolutely.
I think we should talk about
And other parts of the country because
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
yeah.
You get around. That came out wrong.
not
That's
that
what
way.
we're
Not
doing.
that way.
Not anymore.
Let's not start any rumors. Can't take her anywhere.
You
folks.
travel frequently.
I do, but I do also travel to the same places frequently.
Right.
Yeah.
But you know them well. And you're the
commute.
you're obviously the kind of traveler who pays attention to what makes the experience worthwhile, not just for yourself, but for others. And that's what we love about you, because that's clearly what we're all about and why we came to you.
Mhm.
So thank you for that so much. That was great.
I love my best friends.
Yay.
Oh, that's plural. Yay. I'm in that.
You are. This has been the Sarah Nelson Power Hour. Florida correspondency, talking all about St. Augustine this time around. We would definitely like to thank her for joining us, and frankly for putting up with 24 years of my crap. So there's that to say as well. But yeah, thank you once again for tuning in to the Trip B podcast, the Travel Buzz podcast. We've just christened it. We're coming out with a new title sequence and everything, so you're going to see some really cool shit going here. And yeah, once again, thank you. Please, if you like this content, click the like button, click the subscribe button, click the notification button, then go to patreon.com/trippy, give us money. Yeah, it's is that not how that
I was
is that
going
not-
with engagement. But
engagement?
Sure.
Yes, give us engagement in the form of coins. And
Oh my God. This has been the Travel Buzz podcast. Have a great night. Have an adventure.